Hi guys, happy Saturday. It is like 2:30 and I've finally gotten my life to a point where I can stop and do my makeup. So I'm kind of excited about that. I have a nondescript background behind me. However, I did spend the morning Marie Kondoing a little bit of my house, and then the kids went to play with their friend up the street. So, just putting a little bit of hi Core. I'm just putting a little bit of primer on my face while we chat. So I rearranged my office a little bit because my office is not just my office, it's also our guest room. So it was just driving me crazy because it was like 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag. And so it was just driving me crazy. And my sister was in my guest room closet this week, and she was like, you have outfits in there that you used to wear in middle school, right? Like, you have got to get rid of some of this stuff. So I went through that and thinned it out a little bit, but honestly, I have to go back through and do more because it's ridiculous. Like, I literally took a dress out of there today that I wore to Easter in 9th grade. That's better. I wore this dress to Easter in 9th grade, and it's from The Limited. I don't even know if The Limited still exists because I never get out to go shopping. But I was like, this is bananas that I have this. And then I'm like, well, it's a perfectly good dress. There's nothing wrong with it. But then, is 34-year-old Megan honestly going to sport the same fashion that 14-year-old Megan did? 20 years in the making? I stinking hope not. So anyway, I have a hard time letting go of things that there's, quote, nothing wrong with. And I was only able to get rid of like maybe a quarter of what I probably should. So I moved some furniture around. I got rid of some stuff. And now that I have room in the closet, I feel like I need to get rid of more stuff and be a little bit more ruthless about what I keep. Hi, Erica. It would honestly be easier if I had somebody here with me being like, Megan, you're not holding on to this. This is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. And then I would feel shame, and then I would do it. But I was just by myself with the kids who were running amok. Amok. So anyway, IA, that did come out right, was the look that came over with the overwhelming majority of votes. So we're going to do that purple eye with the wing. So this is credulous, agile, laid back, and optimistic. So this is the palette that I built to do that purple eye. And then I have our Dip and Draw black eyeliner to do my wing. So I'm definitely going to do that for our look today. I loved all 4 of the eyes that I posted. And so I will definitely get to each one individually. So if I don't do one of them today, I promise I will get to them. We'll just knock them out as we go on. I don't know that I'll be able to get on tomorrow because I have to work for a little while at a bridal show. Things that I don't like to say because I don't like to work at bridal shows or on Sundays when I could be home with my family. But this is the business I'm in. So I do have to work for a little while tomorrow. And then we're going out to dinner with my in-laws and my sister-in-law. So it's kind of a busy day. I don't know if I'll get on. Hopefully I will. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is start with our foundation because, hi, Megan. So the first thing we're going to do is start with foundation because really that is like the basis of your makeup looking really good for the day. So we have primer on our face. I exfoliated, I cleansed, and I moisturized with my Renewing Day Cream. And because everything is so dry right now, I'm going to go in with BB cream and my Touch Mineral Liquid Foundation in the shade Eyelet and Bisque because I really like together how they give me a super dewy finish. I actually got a whole bunch of compliments last week when I was doing this. Just a little bit of BB cream and Bisque on the back of my hand. I got a lot of compliments from people that are like, I'm struggling so bad with my skin. How is your skin glowing right now? Did you just get back from vacation? And nothing could be further from the truth. There's no vacationing for me. But I at least looked like my skin was holding it together. So I just put 3 drops of liquid foundation, hi Kristen, on the back of my hand, and I'm going to mix them together with my finger, and then I'm going to apply it to my face where I want to just have flawlessness. So the BB cream itself, if you've ever watched me before, you already know this and can probably recite it, but for you newer people, BB cream is a tinted moisturizer, so it does not have a ton of coverage to it. If you have great skin and you're just looking for like a pretty veil of moisture and tint, then BB cream is going to be your best friend in the world. But if you are looking for a fuller coverage look, but you want the effects of BB cream, this is what you do. You drop a couple of dollops of your liquid foundation onto your BB cream, and then you're going to blend it in. So I have a damp Eco Tools sponge, and I'm just going to press this into my skin like so. And you can already see my skin looks luminous. The BB cream is something that I feel everybody should have in their makeup arsenal, because you can use it pretty much every day. You could do BB cream and then cover it with a little pressed powder for extra coverage, but still a lot of glow. You could do it just like I did it with BB cream and liquid foundation. If you have great skin and you're just looking for, like I said, just that little bit of like perfection on top, then just do BB cream and set it, and you're good for the day. But I do like a little bit of a fuller coverage look for myself personally. Okay. Feel better already. Okay, so that is just our foundation and our BB cream mixed together. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm trying to be more organized when I do this because I tend to fumble and then I look like an idiot. But whatever. Don't we all? Fumbling is part of the dance. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my Skin Perfecting Concealer in the shade Scarlet. And that's another product that I put on the back of my hand because I actually like to disperse it with a concealer brush. And I actually more often than not don't use my concealer brush. I use my cream shadow brush. Sorry about that. I like the cream shadow brush because it's a little bit smaller and a little bit more precise. And so I feel like I get a little bit of a better tailored look when I use the powder concealer brush. Hi, Sarah. So if I can find my other concealer brush, I'll use that one too. But I also find that I use about half the amount of concealer when I apply it with a brush as opposed to my fingertips. And I only use this much concealer to do my whole face. It's not a lot. That's why one of these lasts me upwards of 6 months. All right, so I'm just going to go in with my powder. This is not a powder concealer. This is my cream shadow brush. And I'm going to place this concealer under my eyes, and I'm going to sort of do an upside down triangle. Hi. Now, if I was applying this much with my fingertips, I would definitely have already used it up just doing my under eyes. I don't know why I'm so heavy-handed when I'm just using my fingertips, but I am. And honestly, the more is not the merrier when it comes to things like concealer and stuff. I feel like the more that you cake on, the faster it's going to settle into your fine lines, and the more you're going to see wrinkles and things like that. And that is personally not my makeup goal. I do everything possible to keep wrinkles out of my life. So stay away from over concealing. If you need to apply more and more and more and more concealer to get the look that you're after, you're not using the right product. Okay, so everywhere that I am applying this concealer is not because I'm hiding anything, it's because I want to brighten that area for a really flawless finish. And because I have more of, well, it depends on the day. I feel like I have a very round face shape, so I contour my face to make it look longer and leaner because I just don't like the bulk on the side of my face. Chase and Dylan call me tomato face. They're like, Mom, you have such a nice tomato face. I'm choosing to take it as a compliment because they like tomatoes, so take it as you will. Okay, so everywhere that our concealer is now going to be highlighted and brightened. And then everywhere that our concealer is not, we're going to sort of make a contour. So the area that is bright is going to come forward and be more pronounced, and the area that is darker is going to sort of filter back. And I'm going to use the same EcoTool sponge, damp, clean with hand soap, and I'm just going to press the concealer in. And it sort of just melts into my skin really effortlessly because of the dampness of the sponge and the moisture that's in my skin from my moisturizer and my BB cream. Hi, Dina. So the BB cream and liquid foundation really give my skin a ton of moisture, and then it just kind of melts in very effortlessly. And I'm just pressing it in the same stippling motion that I did for my foundation. Okay. Now, when you do your foundation and your concealer, you might just feel like you've lost some of the depth of your face and the color in your face, and you have. So what we're going to do now is build it back in. The first thing though I want to do is set my concealer because I want to keep it really bright and fresh. So I use translucent setting powder, and I always go in with a brush as a, why are you not doing eyes before concealer? I never do my eyes before my concealer. Because the pressed shadows and stuff, you need so little of it in order to get the color on your eye. I almost never have fallout. So I always kind of like to do it in these steps. I have done my eyes first and then sort of backtrack to my face, but it just feels very unnatural to me. And it could just be that I'm like OCD. Just like in the shower, I have to do it like a certain way or a certain step, or else I forget things. Okay, so this is translucent setting powder, and this is what is going to seal our concealer in so it doesn't move. And if we do, for some reason, have some fallout from our eyeshadow, it's not going to stay on our eyes. So I personally go in with a brush to do this because it's lighter, and I feel like when I use too much, when I add it with a sponge, then I see creasing and I notice fine lines more. And that's the last thing I want to notice. So that's why I go in with the brush. Okay. So now I'm going to set my foundation, and I'm going to go in with the shade Crepe, which is one of our pressed powders, and my powder concealer brush. And I'm just setting the areas of my face that I did not conceal. So that my foundation stays like perfectly in place all day. When I used to use like drugstore brand, even a lot of other brands that I used to get at Sephora or Ulta in their eyeshadows, I used to have, I don't know if you responded, I got a phone call. I'm sorry. The reason that I'm doing foundation first and not eyeshadow first is because my Moodstruck pressed shadows do not shed and have a ton of fallout. You need so little product in order to transfer the color on your face that I almost never get anything below. But secondly, when I set my concealer with my translucent powder, even if something were to fall on here, I could very easily brush it off with just a clean brush and it wouldn't stay. I'm kind of OCD about, and I don't say that lightly, I actually think I have like a touch of it. If I don't do things in a certain sequence, I get like confused and I forget to do them. Like when I get in the shower, I shower the exact same way every day, or else I'm like, did I shave my legs? I can't remember because I did it out of order. So I tend to just do my makeup the same way. No problem. Okay, so now I have my foundation set, and I'm going to go in with a foundation in the shade Gingham, and it's about 3 shades darker than my skin tone is, and I'm just going to go in and build in some cheekbones and a little color to my face, just like that, and sort of blend up. I want to keep the area underneath here really, really clean so that it pops. And I also want to keep that triangle here really clean so that my face still continues to look like bright and fresh. But if you're asking yourself what you should use to contour your face, you have a lot of different options. You can use bronzer, you can use a pressed powder, you can use a cream contour or a contour stick. I tend to like using these because in a pressed powder, because I can really pick whatever. We have like 45 different shades of pressed powder. And I really like being able to go in and pick exactly what I want in the right tone. I also find that they blend so nicely. They're like powdered velvet. And I just really like the way that they blend into the rest of the makeup. With the bronzer, there's a little bit more sheen. Hi, Lauren. With the bronzer, there's a little bit more sheen because our bronzers are baked, and they're baked half of it's matte and half of it's shimmer. Not shimmer like glitter, but shimmer like a glow. And while I do go in with a little bit of bronzer, usually at the end, I just like how precise I can be with a pressed powder. All right, so that was pressed powder in the shade Gingham for my contour. And I'm going to go with a little blush. This is one of our pressed blushers, and this is in the shade Seductive. It's like a really pretty rosy mauve. And I didn't want to do anything too purple or too orange to go against the purple that I'm going to be doing for my eye. So I thought that just something like really rosy and neutral would do the trick. And I just apply that right on my cheekbone. And I just go very, very, very lightly towards like the apple of my cheek. I find that going too far up or too far forward and you're just going to look like you're in a school play. And I also try to be as light-handed as possible, because blush is a bitch to get off when you've over-applied. You can blend it out and all that kind of stuff, but it's just never as flawless as it was before you went in and messed with it. All right, so that is the blush in the shade Seductive. Okay, so we're done with these puppies. Staying organized, it's all good. All right, so now let's go in and do our eye look. So the eye look today was just like a simple, sort of effortless, everyday purple eyeshadow with a really pretty black wing liner. So this is Credulous, Agile, Laid Back, and Optimistic. And this is a quad palette that you can build along with a splash liquid lipstick of your choice and a Moodstruck Epic Mascara for $72. It's good until the end of the month. So you get the magnetic palette, you get 4 of the pressed blushers, an Epic of your choice, and any splash liquid lipstick of your choice. So I will be using all of these today to kind of show you how you can customize a look for yourself. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is go in with this shade, which is Agile, and it's a matte purple. And I'm going to go in with my Younique blending brush. And I'm just going to put this sort of blown out in the crease of my eye and over my lid, very lightly, just to get that purple on there. But you can see, hi Ashley, hi Caitlin, you can see, Sarah, if you're still on, how much, I don't use much product on my brush at all because these do not have a ton of fallout. All of our shadows are incredibly hyperpigmented, so I don't have to go and like drag my brush back and forth against my palette several times in order to transfer color onto my face. Perfect. So when I touch these, I literally touch them once. When I used to use like other drugstore or grocery store brands, I would literally be like digging in the palette in order to get color on my brush, and half of it would end up on the apples of my cheeks. So that was, I would say, one of the hardest switches that I made when I moved over to Younique, was that I did not need anywhere near the amount of makeup that I used to use. And that I wasn't saving. Yes, I could buy an eyeshadow for $7 and these are 14 or 13. But I was also going through them like one a month, and half of it was like ruining the rest of my makeup. So not much of a value at all. All right, so I've laid down that like purple base that I want, and I'm going to go in with this next shade, which is Credulous, which is a metallic violet, and I'm going to go in the crease of my eye and really darken it up with that. And for that, I'm going to use my Younique fluffy crease brush. And I'm just going to put it like right in the crease of my eye and sort of do a windshield wiper motion back and forth. And I'm going to try not to go too far forward so that it keeps it really towards like the back of my eye. I think one of these days I'm going to attempt like a cut crease sort of shadow look, because I'm very into those now. All right, so I'm just going to take my blending brush with nothing on it and sort of blow that out just a little bit on the side so it doesn't look like I have black eyes. And now I'm going to go in with this shade right here called Laid Back. It's a matte sort of ivory. And I'm going to go in with my Younique Deluxe brush on the angled side. And I'm going to just sort of take that Laid Back and apply it on the front of my eye and fade it back. What's nice about it is it's angled, so you can really follow the shape of your eye really nicely with it. And we're just going to brighten up that eye so that when we lay Optimistic down, it shows up and gives us that shimmer we want. Optimistic is one of my favorite colors to pop and open an eye up, and it's also great to use as a highlighter on your cheeks. But honestly, I have no fallout from all of that shadow that I just used. I have no fallout whatsoever because this stuff does not fall out. All right. So now a little trick. In order to get this Optimistic, which is like a metallic ivory, in order to keep that metallic nice and bright, I'm actually going to grab a little of my setting spray. Hi, Alyssa. And I'm going to spray the sponge end of my Deluxe brush. So this is one of those pointed tip sponges. So now this is all wet. I'm going to go and grab some Optimistic. And you can see how it's now stuck to this. Hi, Mary Ellen. It's now stuck to this, and it's maintained all of its prismatic properties because it's got moisture on it. So when I place this on my eye, I have a ton of control over where it goes, and it's still going to keep all of its metallic. It just gives you a ton of control, and then when it's fully dried, we're just going to blend it out. Hi, Meg. Knowing little tricks and tips, honestly, is the root of great makeup. It's amazing what, once you know and understand why something happens, how you can like really tailor your makeup routine and do a better job. And I'm just taking the purple that's already on my eye, and I'm just kind of blending it to both soften the purple and soften the metallic ivory so that I don't look like too heavy one way or the other. And I think I'm going to take this darker purple, which is Agile, and I'm just going to do underneath my my lower lashes a little bit. I didn't want to use the metallic purple because I feel like that would just be manipulating your makeup. Doing the metallic purple under here would just be a wee bit too much. Manipulation is everything. But we're just bringing some of that purple down here, sort of giving us like a little bit of extra color on her face and giving that illusion of like almost a purple smoky eye. And then when we add our eyeliner next, it will just bring that to a whole other level. So this is our Moodstruck Precision Dip and Draw liquid liner. If you're a liquid liner person, the felt point on this is on point. It's so easy to use. And I'm actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go in with a pinch more of this concealer that I have on the back of my hand. And I'm just going to clean up the edge ever so slightly. And just adding that sort of like uplift right there just brings your attention up. And again, just like following a contour on your face, when the lines are moving up like this is how your eye sees me. And things just kind of look better that way. All right, so now we're going to go in with the Dip and Draw eyeliner, wherever I put it. So you just shake it back and forth, and that basically brings all of the liquid to the pen. And I also love how long this is because I'm someone who likes to use the entire length of this in order to hold on to it. And I'm also someone who pulls at my eye when I apply liquid eyeliner. I can't help it. It's ingrained in me at this point. So I'm just going to grab this. And create that really precision liner look. Hi, Erica. But how easy was that? And definitely a dramatic look. So I'm just going to do it for the second eye. I like everything to be even. So if I do it to the right, I've got to do it to the left. I know there are people that don't love eyeliner. I'm not one of them. I love eyeliner. I have always been an eyeliner person. Even if it's not like a dramatic eyeliner, I still love it. Like smudged into my lash line so that it looks thicker and more dramatic. Loving this stuff. All right, right, so now we're going to put 2 very healthy coats of Epic Mascara on. And then we're going to do our brows. I love that, Meg. I feel like it's never that easy for me. Well, I used to use, it's funny, I go in stages where I will not ever use, like I'll just become obsessed with a product or a practice. So like I'll use liquid eyeliner for a while and then I'll look at myself one day and go, all right, this is like way too harsh or something, or I want something softer. And then I'll go back to pencil and then I'll get off pencil and I'll go to using my shadows as liner. I get bored really easily doing certain things certain ways. But at the same time, like everything has a purpose. Actually, I have to fix this over here because it's just like a wee bit too chunky for me. I think the lighting isn't helping me either. But like I'll get fixated on something, doing it one way or another, and then all of a sudden I won't want to do it that way forever again. And also, making things easier is a lot about product selection, because even using, say we were all using a different kind of liquid pencil or regular pencil, how that product goes on your face is going to be very telling of how it looks. If you struggle to put it on because it's not a great product, then it's not necessarily user error. It's just the product's not awesome. And I'm just going to grab this puppy and sort of just brush out my lashes really quick. It's at this point in my day every day where I'm like, I should just get lash extensions and life would be lovely. Every day I say this to myself. Okay, so let's do brows. So this is the Brow Obsession palette. It's also my obsession, and it's in the shade Brunette, although I'm super blonde right now and I could go with the blonde palette. But the nice thing about these is if you get a palette and you change your hair color, you still have the option of creating really whatever shade you want out of the light and the dark powders. So I've kind of been leaning a little bit more on the light powder lately, but I've been adding the dark powder to my arch and to the tail just to like deepen it up. So I'm going to go in now and draw the bottom of my lashes in. Lashes. Good God, there's not enough coffee today. The bottom of my line. The bottom line of my eyebrows. There we go. So the first thing I do is I do the bottom line and then I go in and do the top line. And from there, I know the exact shape of the brow that I want to create. And I start in the back at the arch, and I fill that in and drag that down to the tail. Naturally, your brows grow thickest and darkest in that area, and we want to make sure that we just like do things the way Mother Nature would have done them. And then I really don't apply extra product on. I just take what's on my brush and I start slowly fading the front into the back, because the front naturally grows a little bit more sparse. Like that. What a difference between a finished and an unfinished. And I know the first few times that you do your brows, you're thinking, this does not look right, because you're not used to looking at yourself with a fuller brow or a darker brow. But my best advice to anyone who wants to do your brows is to do them on a day that you're not going out. And just continue to walk by a mirror and look at yourself. And I promise you that like by the second time you do this, there will be no going back. You're going to be like, I don't like to take off my brows at night. And also, if you're thinking of getting like microbladed brows, definitely practice on your shape and how thick you want them and their color, and just getting used to seeing that on your face by doing your brows more. Because that is a much more permanent solution. I was actually putting Dylan to bed the other day, and he just comes up with the most random things to talk about. So we're laying in his bed, and he's like, Mom? I'm like, yeah, bud. He goes, how come I have eyebrows and Chase doesn't? And I'm like, well, he does have eyebrows. It's just that they're blonde because he has blonde hair, and yours are brown because you have brown hair. And he's like, I was really worried we were going to have to draw them on him like you do yours. So I explained to him that Chase has eyebrows. It took him 2 years to grow them because he didn't have any hair for the first 2 years of his life. But they're there to stay. Kids say the darndest things. All right, so now that our brows are on, I'm just going to use a little bit of the concealer that I still have on the back of my hand. Now, if you were logged on from the beginning or watching this on replay, you will know that I only put a teeny tiny amount of concealer on the back of my hand. I did my entire highlight with it and cut my eyebrows, or my eyeshadow when I was all done with it. And now I'm just using whatever is left over on the back of my hand to just fleek out my brows. This just adds another layer of like a highlight, a matte highlight to your eyes. And it just finishes your brows really, really well so that everything looks precise. And I'm just using my blending brush with nothing on it just to kind of soften those edges so everything looks really, well, not natural because no one has this much natural liner and purple eyeshadow on their face. But you know what I'm saying. You feel me. Okay. So eyes are now done. And I'm going to go, actually, let's do a little bit of mascara on my lower lashes because they're so light and I put shadow down there and I don't want to look like jankety. Alright, so I basically take as much product off of my wand when I do my lower lashes as possible because I don't like tarantula lashes on my lower lashes. It freaks me out. True life, I'm freaked out by tarantula lashes. Did anyone hear that MTV is rebooting True Life? Hi, Alina. Hi, Kristen. I was obsessed with that show and would definitely gladly still watch it if it was on. Okay, so now we're going to do lips. Except that I have to do Touch a la Mode highlighter. This is the shade Iridescent, and I'm obsessed with highlighter. I don't go a day without wearing it, and I know that because I went to work without it the other day, and I kept looking at my face all day, and I was like, what is missing? I definitely am missing something, and then I figured out that it was my luminizer, and I was sad about it all day. So this is a Prismatic White, and I just kind of brush it. You can see already, just like the volume and sort of shimmer it gives my face, like a youthful sort of glow. Plus it blends your blush and your contour together amazingly well. Hi, Peg. So I'm obsessed with luminizer. I put it down my nose, right over the arch of my brows, on my Cupid's bow, and then on the inside of my eyes. Just adding like a little bit of highlight in the right places. You don't even know. All the good stuff. I don't even think I contoured my nose. Remind me, I have to contour my nose. Okay, so let's go in with, because I'm doing sort of a purpley look, I'm going to go in with a more purple lip liner. So this is darker than normally do. This is Pompous. So it's kind of like this very pretty berry color. And then I'm going to use Sublime Splash Liquid Lipstick, which is available in the Kudos. And I'm going to top it with Jenna Hottie Lip Plumper. So sort of bringing in a little bit of purple to this Sublime. At least I think I'm going to. We'll see when I actually get it on. All right, so lip liner, Obsessed. And if you're gonna overline your lips, I slightly overline, but you only wanna do it right in the center. Do not overline on the outside of your lips or you're gonna look like you got punched in the mouth. And it might work for some people, but like on a day-to-day basis, you're just gonna look a little crazy. Top. And bottom. All right, now let's fill in. One thing I'm going to do so that there isn't this huge differentiation between my lip liner and my lipstick is I use the applicator on my Splash Liquid Lipstick to sort of blend the two together so that there is, like, my face doesn't look like it's not blended. So Sublime is one of our most popular neutral lipsticks. And I'm just going to take it and sort of blend it in. Now with the Splash Liquid Lipstick, it does dry to a matte finish. And you're going to want to make sure that your lips are dry when you apply it. It just applies better that way. So do you see how I just use the applicator to kind of blend it right into the liner? Okay. Perfect. Hi, Tara. So that is just the Sublime with the Pompous lip liner. And now I'm going to go in with a little bit of Jenna Hottie Lip Plumper. And this is just going to add a little bit of extra purple to it and just going to like glow it up. I love a glossy lip. You heard it here. I just feel like it makes your smile look so juicy. And anything I can do to look a little more like J-Lo will definitely happen. All right, so I'm just going to contour my nose really quick with a little bit of bronzer. So this is Sunset Bronzer. It's our lightest shade. I'm just going to go in with the back side of my powder concealer brush and just kind of tailor in my nose ever so slightly. Just kind of thin it out and warm it up. Like so. And we'll add a little bit of bronzer to here as well. While we have it out, we may as well. And if for some reason you feel like this area has gotten a little muddy, here is your trick. Go back in with your Touch Behold Translucent Setting Powder. And then we're just going to add a little bit here. Right under that line. Just add it there. We're going to leave it there for a second. And then we're going to wipe it away. You can also do it with your sponge if you want to get that like line. Okay, and that's just going to bring the brightness back into that area. I hope you and Justin have a date between this look and the choker. There are no dates for Justin and I. He's at work until 5, and then the kids come home from their play date. So we haven't been on a date since October. Just like with everything that happened with my dad and the holidays and everybody being sick, like a date night to me is crawling in bed and Netflix binging at this point. We do have to get back to that routine though, like once a month going on a date. Because Mama misses it. Okay, so there's our look. The last thing I'm going to do is go in with Touch Behold setting spray. This is the same thing that I used to keep that really prismatic metallic on my eye. This is basically like hairspray for your face. So just like you set cream and liquid makeup with powder, you set powder makeup and really any kind of makeup with spray. So when my makeup goes on at 6:30 in the morning for me to take on a day at the office and then come home and do all the things and be with the kids, my makeup doesn't come off until usually like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And it still looks as fresh as pretty much when I put it on. If I have to touch up anything during the day, it might be like reapplying a lip after I have lunch or something like that. But other than that, this is what my makeup looks like when I take it off at night. And it's just about building your products in the right layers so that they don't go anywhere. So there we have like our pretty and purple look of the day, plus a choker, just for, oh my God, I have to get my hair done. I'm like all roots. Maybe I'll just go back to like a rooted blonde so I don't have to worry about this, but I digress. So that is our look of the day. If you guys need to be color matched or you have any questions about products or you wanted to get the kudos, it is good until the 31st. So you have until Thursday to order a quad palette, a splash liquid lipstick, and an Epic mascara of your choice for $72. It's really a good bargain. I think it's 33% off. Thank you, Steph. You guys are so sweet. Or if you want to get color matched for anything, you can always message me anytime. Just send me like a recent selfie in good lighting, and then I can color match you with whatever products you're looking for. But that is our look of the day. I will take a filter-free selfie, and then I'll post all of the products that I used in the comments of that, so you can kind of shop along if you have any questions. But hopefully I will have my life together enough where I hop online tomorrow before I go to work and can do a live for you, because I like to do this. If you would do me a favor and like and share these videos with your friends and your family, it just helps me sort of get more exposure and build my business, which is still in its infant phase. And, you know, Megan has big dreams, big goals, and big aspirations. And so 2019 is going to be the year of hitting those things. So everybody have a beautiful Saturday, and hopefully I will see you back tomorrow. Love you guys.